Leaders of the Project 21 Black Leadership Network are calling on CNN to break its silence about host Don Lemon's racial on-air comments in which he called white men the biggest terror threat facing America. In case you missed that, take a look.
You know, we messaged about this a little bit this weekend. I keep trying to point out to people not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity.
But hold that thought, because in a couple seconds, I'm going to put the pedal to the metal and demonize one group of people and ethnicity.
But we keep thinking that the biggest terror threat is something else. Some people who are marching, you know, towards the border like it's imminent. And when the last time they did this, a couple hundred people came and they, you know, most of them did get into the country. Most of them got tuckered out before they even made it to the border. So we have to stop demonizing people and...
So, stop demonizing.
So we have to stop demonizing people. The biggest terror threat is white men,
Don't!
Most of them radicalized to the right.
Hold on, Donnie. You just got through saying...
I keep trying to point out to people not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity.
Not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity.
Besides the gross hypocrisy of this supposed journalist, one of the most glaring things is that this white man, Chris Cuomo, doesn't stop Lemon and say, wait a minute, you just said we shouldn't demonize one group of people or ethnicity, and you did just that. And if you know anything about Chris Cuomo, he stops and corrects guests all the time. The co-chairman of Project 21, Horace Cooper and Stacey Washington, made the following statement. Within the space of 5 seconds, CNN's Don Lemon went from saying we shouldn't demonize people to broadly labeling white men as our nation's biggest terror threat. That's not responsible journalism. This cannot stand. CNN President Jeff Zucker recently called out the White House for its criticism of the media, saying President Trump doesn't comprehend the importance of the words he uses. It's time for Zucker to put his own house in order, starting with explaining how Don Lemon's outrageous statement can stand in light of Zucker's call for civility. On Lemon's own show, CNN Tonight, besides calling white men terrorists, Lemon recently called out President Trump as a racist and called the president's supporters people who lie, steal, and cheat, and lie to their mother.
For the nation to move on, the president must move out. You know who said that?
Who?
Vice President Mike Pence wrote it in the 90s about Bill Clinton. Now he is apparently immune to hypocrisy.
Immune to hypocrisy.
So we have to stop demonizing people. The biggest terror threat is white men.
But what does that tell you about what you're up against?
That was then, this is now. We're up against tribalism. We're up against people who will lie, steal, and cheat, lie to their own mother, lie to themselves.
Lie, steal, and cheat, lie to their own mother, lie to themselves.
About what's right for this country, about truth, and about facts. If they will ignore any misgiving, any terrible deed, any awful saying, they will just ignore it for their own political purpose.
Any awful saying.
Any awful saying, Don? You mean like this awful saying?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them.
CNN hasn't yet made an official comment about Lemon's remarks, but Lemon did attempt to validate his words on his show by adding that the biggest threats are homegrown, as if that's going to wipe away any hypocrisy. This doesn't wash away the fact that Don Lemon and the rest of CNN, especially Simone Sanders, are guilty of broad brushing and demonizing one group of people and ethnicity as they hypocritically call for people not to demonize people and ethnic groups. Here's how Simone broadcasts her racism.
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, oh my, stop it, Carl. We don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse, and it should be reflected as so in our leadership and throughout the staff at the highest level. I'm here for the millennials and the brown folks.
We don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now.
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them.
It's apparent that CNN employs and harbors some of the most staunch racists as they cry and moan about all the racism going on. Maybe instead of blaming Trump for all these racially motivated terrorist events, they should start looking in the mirror. It's good to see a small portion of the black community actually attempt to hold Lemon's feet to the fire for his racial comments. If you guys enjoyed these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a like, and share it with everybody you know. If you want to support this channel, the Patreon and PayPal links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video.
They will ignore the bigotry and the pettiness and the childishness about what Donald Trump said about me and LeBron James and others, just because they want to gain some sort of political clout or they want a few more dollars in tax money. At what cost?